you guys are freaking awesome.
I wasn't doing it.
Oh, don't lie. So listen, Kanye West has been in the news a lot lately.
Because he's baller like that?
I think it is because he's kind of baller. We're gonna play a video for you guys, and God dang, why is that not?
I'm just so excited, man, for Kanye West.
I'm gonna record what you just did, and I'm gonna use that as one of our buttons. I'm gonna clip that. That's gonna be a button. I hope you did that in the mic.
I didn't. I did it off to the side.
Either way, I think we still got it. Let's play this video.
It was one of the industry's most influential power couples, firebrand media mogul
Man, you gotta
Ye
get a
and
coat like
glossy,
that, I'm just
high-end
saying.
fashion house Balenciaga. But this morning, like so many celebrity pairings, bad words led to a big breakup.
I think Ye's brand has taken a major hit, one that he might not be able to bounce back from.
This week, the French fashion brand became Ye's first major partner to announce a split after the rapper's increasingly controversial public statements, from the White Lives Matter t-shirts at Paris Fashion Week to a tirade of anti-Semitic threats online.
When you first saw those shirts, what did you think?
I thought to myself, Kanye West has lost his mind. He's no longer thinking rationally.
Leading the entertainment world to say enough is enough.
This is so depressing. I mean, Kanye used to be fun crazy. Now he's like Hitler.
One major holdout, Adidas. Instead of ending their partnership, the company announcing a probation, saying, "We have taken the decision to place the partnership under review." This week on Morning Joe, the head of the Anti-Defamation League had strong words for the sportswear company.
Every consumer of Adidas, every investor in Adidas should ask themselves, do they want to be part of a company that's monetizing hate?
Ye has since made the rounds on news talk shows, sparring with Chris Cuomo and making a reluctant apology on Piers Morgan.
I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I use my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt.
But many experts say the damage is already done, as calls for more brands to drop Ye grow even louder by the week. For today, Steve Patterson, NBC News, Los Angeles.
Shut up. Shut your goddamn mouth, man. Shut your damn mouth. So I want to address a couple of things when it comes to this Kanye West stuff. The first one I want to address is the White Lives Matter shirt. What the hell did that guy say? I can't believe something. People are freaking out about the White Lives Matter shirt. Why? How come it's okay to have the Black Lives Matter shirt, but you can't do a White Lives Matter? I don't understand that one at all.
Yeah,
Isn't that racist for you to be anti-White Lives Matter shirts? Is that not racist?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's not.
If he had put an Asian Lives Matter shirt on, everyone wouldn't have a problem, right?
I'm trying to think how I want to word this. Yeah, but because if you're white, you're racist, right?
Well, I'm saying it. I'm saying it though. Like, it's racist for you to hate on his White Lives Matter shirt. Well, I don't know what's going on with the world right now. How come you can't? Like, just like I'm
trying to think how I want to word this. I just can't think how I want to say it.
Say it, man.
It's
You're
coming
a BTG squad member. You can say whatever hell you want to say.
I'm trying to think of what I actually want to say, or how I want to phrase it to make it.
How about?
I lost my train of thought already. I'm good. In all honesty, man, we got worse things going on in this country.
Yeah, but Kanye West
what
right
Kanye
now.
West is doing.
Kanye West right now is.
Yeah, he's smart too. At the same time, he's doing it because it makes him popular, man. Like, they're putting him in the news. How much you want to bet his clothing brand like stock went up when this happened?
No, well, because these
down?
clothing brands are trying to drop him
now. But when he first did it, it probably shot up real quick.
I don't know. I don't even buy any Yeezus stuff because I can't afford that. And I think it looks. I don't like the way his clothes look anyway. But Kanye West, I watched the interview that he did with Piers Morgan. It was like an hour plus, an hour long plus minute video. And I don't know, man. Everybody's trying. I don't know if Kanye is crazy. When I watch Kanye West talk, I go between. I don't know if he's legitimately crazy, or if he's just really smart and he's playing people.
Yeah.
You know, I can't tell.
I'm sure
I've
he's
never
got
been
his
able
reasons why he did what he did.
to.
I guess I didn't listen. I don't know much about it. So.
Yeah, he does have his reasons. He said when he was talking to Piers Morgan, he said he wants to get these conversations started. He wants to get conversations started, which are controversial. And for him, apparently he had a bunch of Jewish people who were businessmen in the music industry. He had these people do him very wrong financially, right? So they were doing bad business deals with him, stuff that he didn't necessarily disclose all of it, but he's harping a lot on the Jewish thing. And he put out this tweet, I think, that said something about he's going DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people, right? So he said when he was talking to Piers Morgan, he let Piers Morgan know that a lot of the things that he says, he does it in a very, he uses not like politically correct wording. He says it in a harsh way because otherwise no one will listen to him, and no one will, like right now the entire world is listening to what Kanye West has to say. They're interviewing him.
He's doing it his own way, not just
Right.
like a normal way. Yeah.
They're talking to him. He's able to say what he wants to say to people because he puts out some things that are really crazy. Well, according to some people, they're just really crazy and people freak out. So now he's able to say what he really wants to say. You know, and even in the end of the Piers Morgan interview, he said, like we saw in this video, he said he was sorry to people, like Jewish people, if he offended them because he threw this blanket statement out that he was going DEFCON 3 on all Jewish people. But he's like dealing with a lot of stuff right now. And back to the White Lives Matter shirt. Like he wore a White Lives Matter shirt, and people, I'm still not sure what the hell the issue is. You know, I get it from
Unless they're seeing it as like a kick in the face somehow. I don't know.
See, a lot of the things that he was talking about in his interview was about, like, the guy kept bringing up George Floyd, right? And Kanye West is actually being sued right now by George Floyd's family for $250 million.
Yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
Because he said something about how George Floyd died from fentanyl overdose or whatever, and he didn't necessarily die from Derek Chauvin's neck on his knee. Is that the right Derek Chauvin?
I don't know.
Something like that. He didn't die from that cop's neck on his knee. Either way, we don't really know, like, what caused him to die. They're saying he had fentanyl in his system. There was a bunch of things with the George Floyd, but he's being sued right now from the Black Lives Matter people, basically. Like, all this Black Lives Matter stuff, from my point of view, started with George Floyd. And Kanye wearing White Lives Matter shirt. Like, I guess people think, like, white people don't go through any struggles, I guess, you know? Like,
Well, I'm sure
or
some
they
do.
think their lives don't matter. What do you think? Does your life matter, man?
I mean, to me it does, but here's my thing, I think, on the whole take. Like, the Democrats thing was right not to make it about race. But what they did was, like, make it more about race than it ever was, right? Like, is that not what came out of it? Like, it got worse than what it was before that.
Repeat what you said before that. The Democrats,
When they, like, because, like, the whole, like, rioting, and they were cool with it.
yeah.
But, like, because they want to, like, their thing is, like, and I'm not saying what they're doing is wrong, but, like, bring other people of color into, like, office and stuff like that. They say all that stuff, but, like, they bring up race more now than what it was before almost. Like, they almost, like, make it they're trying to, like, almost bring, like, racism back, not, like, bring it away.
Yeah, they are.
You see what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to make it worse. Like, it seemed like things, like, everybody was kind of cool. Like, it's like whatever, you know? Like, I'm not saying it always was, but, like, I thought things were getting kind of better on their own, you know, in a way from, like, what it used to be, you know? Like, things were always, like, slowly getting better. And then they bring this in, and then they, like, let people do their thing and, like, trash businesses and, you know, ruin their own places they live. And, like, I don't know. It just seems like It's like, why? How's it getting back to this? Like, this was something that was happening before.
Right.
And, like, that went away, you know, and now it's, like, back again, like, rioting in the streets and stuff like that. Like, weren't things kind of getting better anyways? Like, what? I'm not saying it was, like, not an issue. I don't know. Like, I guess where I'm from and, like, how I am, I don't see it, I guess, because I don't, like, look at things that way. I guess I don't, you know, try to look at it black and white.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just curious. Maybe other states and cities are different. Where I'm from, maybe I just don't see it, I guess.
I think the Democratic Party is a party of human beings who likes to the word I think is pander, right? They want to appease and pander to instead of doing what's right, they want to make sure that the people that are voting for them are not angry at them. And they don't care if that means that they do something wrong. So when the George Floyd thing kicked off and like what seemed, and there was so much sketchy stuff about I don't want to make this all about George Floyd because we're talking about Kanye West, but what the whole sketchy thing about the George Floyd thing was there were a lot of, it wasn't just black people protesting. Like, there were a lot of black people that went out and protested the George Floyd thing, but there were a lot of people like Antifa got involved in that, and people were being paid off to create a situation that was way more intense than it ever was supposed to be, or the people that initially went to protest for the death of George Floyd. Those Antifa people and those other people, those actors who went in and paid off. And this is a well-known fact. This is not me speculating or like guessing or making stuff up. You can find out this information. It's well known. People went in there and they were paid to inflame the situation and like make these protests way worse than they really were. And the media, like,
they didn't do it.
Yep, the media only showed the footage of, you know, they really showed a lot of one-sided stuff, and the Democratic Party, like, this was going on during COVID too.
Like, what I'm saying is they actually made people start hating each other more again, is the way it seems.
Yeah,
to me.
They fueled the flames, right? They that's the whole thing that they want to divide everybody. And that's what I talked about earlier about us labeling ourselves
Then they win.
Democrat or Republican. I think it's so stupid to label yourself a Republican or a Democrat. You're supposed to be a free thinker and an American citizen. But yeah, the stupid people who like to say, "Oh, I'm a Democrat or I'm a Republican," those people fell into this trap, and everyone inflamed this situation to this point, and now I kind of lost the point of what I was even getting to. But either way, Kanye West, like, throughout all of this, they were running around with these Black Lives Matter shirts on, right?
Yeah.
And their whole thing was, oh, black people are struggling, and there's a lot of police brutality against black people, which to a certain point, 100% that is true. Okay? To another point, like, there's a such thing as cause. What's the word? What is it? Cause and effect or something like that. It's like, if you are committing a crime and something bad happens to you from the police, like, there's only so much leeway we're going to give you to where we're like, okay, now you're being unjustly punished for what you're doing, right? There's so many wrongs on both sides of this argument. Like, there's cops that have done completely wrong things. There's black people that are doing wrong things as well. Now, running around and saying the police are always against us, there's an argument to be had there. And I say this from a standpoint of listening to a bunch of interviews of former police officers who get out and they go on podcasts or they go on interviews and stuff, and they're saying, yeah, we were told to go, you know, while we're on the job, we're told to go to specific neighborhoods. We patrol these areas. We set things up to entrap people. Like, they're telling you stuff like this. Yeah. And these are heavily populated with black people in these neighborhoods, right?
But they're also going to neighborhoods where things are, like, bad things are always happening.
Right. But like that's such a deep conversation, you know, to get into like how drugs get into these black neighborhoods. Like,
No,
it's
for
not
sure.
just black people selling black people drugs. Like,
No.
the list goes so far higher up than most people think. But you also have to take personal responsibility for your actions. Okay,
Your own
so
actions, yeah.
yeah, so if you're living in a disastrous neighborhood in a black ghetto, and none of you collectively are doing anything to make this any better, you're just feeding into whatever someone is giving you. If someone's saying, here's all the drugs you can have, here's the guns, and you're taking them and making the situation worse and doing whatever you're doing, we have to hold you accountable for that as well, right? We're not going to cry for you if bad things happen to you when you're perpetuating this stuff on your own neighborhoods, or you're like, you go to neighborhoods in New York City, you go to neighborhoods in Los Angeles, you go to Chicago, you walk around these neighborhoods and you walk up to people and just say, what's up? They immediately get super defensive. You know where you're at? Like, you've seen these videos, right? Like, I watch videos like that all the time where people go into like bad neighborhoods in these cities, and they it's almost like they want to kill you just if you ask them a question, you know? So you're creating this environment. All of you are and you're not only creating it, you're adding the fertilizer to the soil. You keep it going with your children. You keep it going. The parents are teaching the children, are teaching the infants. It's a never-ending cycle, okay? And now we're to the point where they're just sorry for themselves, okay?
And they say they can't get out, but like, I'm not saying like, I get like there's stuff they're holding you there, but like, can't you just buy a bus ticket and leave?
Well,
like you can literally get out.
Think about it from where you and
Like,
I
you could-
live.
I know what you're saying, but like, if you already have nothing, if you say you have nothing and you're there and you can't get out, but like, say you buy a bus ticket and you leave, I mean, what are you leaving behind if you had nothing?
Here's the thing, okay?
That's what I'm curious.
To these people who have nothing, what they do have is all of their quote-unquote friends and family, right? And to someone who's broke and has nothing, your friends and your family all of a sudden mean everything to you. Your
Those people are
name,
willing
your
to snitch on you in a
reputation,
minute.
right? But that's why they stay, because you say, "Oh, just take a bus trip to somewhere else." They're like, "Where? To another ghetto where everybody really hates me? I don't even have my family and friends there. Like, where are they gonna go? You can't." We saw what happened when the mayor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, shipped those migrants to
Yeah, but it's not
Florida.
because one person showed up.
Okay,
like
well,
a bunch of
10 of
people,
them
right?
showed up, and it was like one of the richest It's like one of the richest places in the world, right? So why weren't those 10
I think he
people or
did it to
20
make a
people?
point, though.
Yeah, but
His reasoning was different.
for sure, he did it to make a point. But think about this: why couldn't those 20 people or 40 people or whoever he sent there, when they got to Martha's Vineyard, why couldn't they have been given opportunities and given jobs and given wealth and given help? Like, why were they put back on the bus and shipped the hell out of there? Yeah. So that's what happens if you say, "Oh, these guys just get on a bus and go somewhere better." You go to a better neighborhood and you're from the ghetto and you have that mentality or whatever else, you're going to get kicked out of there real quick. You're going to get the cops called on you. If you're just walking through a neighborhood.
But a lot of those people also think a better place is another big city.
Right.
Like, why not go somewhere where, like, I can get away from everything?
Yeah, and
You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but then it goes back to, like, they want their friends. Like, that's all they have are the people that they know. And their friends are not all going with them.
There's
So
got to
it's
be
this-
a point, though,
it's
where
this
you eventually are
vicious-
like, I'm just going to go.
Some people do that, but enough of them aren't.
I guess I would, I guess. That's
Yeah.
the way I see it. in
You
my
would
head.
think you would. You think you would.
I know I would.
Right? I would say that I would too, but I also have stuck around in places where I probably should have left way longer just because of the people that I liked.
Oh, I guess.
This place probably being one of them, where we are right now. 100%. There's no reason for me to be here other than my friends.
But there's nothing making you leave, wanting to leave either, is
Well,
there?
I'm not doing anything bad, right? There's no crime.
I'm just saying there's not
necessarily
things.
either.
Is there things here making you want to go somewhere else?
There's plenty more opportunity other places.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
better
but-
weather. There's.
But I'm saying there's things happening there that make you want to leave, right?
I don't know, man. I've never lived in a ghetto. It's hard for me to
you would
have
like to
that
think, like,
mentality.
if people are getting like murdered around you every day,
We've got people
and-
getting murdered.
I mean, like, all the time, though. Like,
Yeah, but if you're involved in it,
like you
we,
hear gunshots in your house.
well, we have to come at this from the perspective of you grew up here and you lived here, like your whole life. Your
But I'm saying
family
if
lived
that was
here.
happening, like, it's like, I gotta go.
No, you think I need to like protect my family. You get that mentality and you're like, I'm gonna protect my mom from this. I'm gonna grow up. I'm gonna be the leader in this hood. Like I'm gonna make sure nothing happens to them because they're not leaving. Your mom and dad, they've been here their whole lives. Like your brothers and sisters, they're like, I don't know. I can't speak to that mindset.
But then where's the parents like, man, we got to get you out of here.
Right. But yeah, the parents are just as bad as the kids.
Failing
They're
their
not
kids.
doing any better. Yeah, it's 100% comes back to the parents too. The parents are the leading factor in why children grow up the way that they do. That is a fact. But like all this that we know, these people that we're talking about, these are the ones that start to produce these Black Lives Matter shirts, right? Because they think they're being done wrong. They don't understand that they're encouraging their own situation. Sure, there's outside forces that are at play, but they don't understand that they themselves are actually encouraging. Like, this doesn't get done if you don't help people keep this situation. Like, if you don't, you drive through places, there's trash everywhere. Why don't you start a neighborhood cleanup crew? Like little things like that. Like, they just won't do it.
Because people shut them down right away, though, right?
There's that too. Yeah, you never know what's going on up top. Like, they try to start businesses.
What are
and
you
they
doing
get
trying to make
shut
this
down.
place a better place?
Right. We don't and it goes back to and I'm not voting. I'm not here to argue for Democrats or Republicans, but I'm saying what I see. And the Democrat Party seems to enjoy having cities who need them. Like people who are dependent on them, like meaning people in bad situations in life, people who don't have food, people who don't have clothing. The more hungry you are, the more broken down you are, the less free you are. Yeah, the more you need the government. And that's what the Democrat Party seems to like to do. But anyway, like, if you look at black people in the United States as a whole, and then you look at white people as a whole, you would think, if we were to just put them in two boxes, you would think, oh, this box is struggling a lot more than this box, right? So when these people see that you made, oh, your Lives Matter shirts, they're freaking out. But they're not looking at it like, hey, everyone is a human being, and we all have lives, and all of our lives should matter. But they just can't seem to look at it from that perspective.
You got to go to them white trashy trailer parks, man. That shit's for real.
Oh, yeah, we've all been to those too, right? It's like...
That's the ghetto for white people.
Yeah.
It is.
And those can be very bad, yeah. But Kanye West, he was trying to make us a point about... I think his point was how dumb this all really is. Like, of course, human beings' lives matter. And if you're going to put up one thing that just targets one specific race or group, we're able to throw it up for another race. You know, like I should be able to wear an Asian Lives Matter shirt.
Instead of fighting about it, you should just all like come together and be like, okay, nobody should wear any of these shirts.
Yeah, but see how the media, media, though, and all these big companies are going after Kanye, though, for this.
But he probably loves it.
He does, kind of, because it's letting him talk. But they're also making sure that they put out these videos, right? They're putting out these videos that make Kanye just seem like the worst. Oh, he wore a White Lives Matter shirt. What the hell are you talking about? You know how many Black Lives Matter shirts we've seen? I know, but it's a shirt saying people's lives matter. Like, you don't have an argument there. I'm just going to say it right now. To anyone who gets upset about someone wearing a White Lives Matter shirt, you don't have an argument. To someone who sees someone wearing a Black Lives Matter shirt and they're like, F you, all lives matter, not just black lives, F you too. Yes, black lives do matter. You can wear the shirt. Now, the foundation Black Lives Matter, that's a crooked organization.
Yeah.
Okay?
All that money that was fed into that.
Yes, 100%. But if we're talking just about the shirt, for you to be angry about that, you're a bitch, okay? And you need to go get help from God. You need to get on your knees and pray. The Kanye West stuff that's going on right now, like I said, I watched his interview. I legitimately don't know if Kanye's crazy or not. I can't tell.
What'd you think about the people when they're like stomping, like burning the American flag?
That one really pisses me off.
I mean,
You know?
but yeah, like I said, obviously there's bad things in this country, right? And people can see that. But here's like my like little rant thing. But like, look at the rest of the world and where you're at right now. Like, I get like people are always gonna have a bitch, right, about something.
Yeah.
Like if it's not one thing, it's gonna be something else. Once that's fixed, they're gonna find something else they don't like.
They will.
And but that's the thing. Like this country is still better than anywhere else you're gonna be in this world. Like your freedoms and like the stuff you can do here. I'm assuming, like, I guess I've never been anywhere else, but I'm assuming, like as far as your rights and, like, the things you can do and, like, get away with here are not going to be the same anywhere else.
Right.
Like, because people are always fighting for something, too. They're always fighting and trying to fix things, but you can never make everybody happy. But that's what bothers me. It's like, how are you going to stomp on it? Like, those people should be, like, shipped off somewhere else. And, like, if you don't like it here, go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's that blanket thing again. It's like you're going to blanket you're going to put a blanket around America and say, you're going to stick your middle finger up to America as a whole. And you live here and you have the freedom to do that. If you were to go over to North Korea and just let them walk into your house and have Kim Jong-un's, everybody in North Korea has to have Kim Jong-un's picture hanging in their house.
Have it just like tilted a little bit.
If it's crooked when they come in there, you will go to prison. Your family will go to prison. Your family's family they send you to prison for like 3 generations for stuff like that. Okay? And we're not talking prison like, oh, you go for 2 years. No, your life is now, you're gone, son. You're going to prison. Okay, so yeah, when I see people burning the American flag, and for me personally, because I truly enjoy listening to and
we get to do this. Not many people can, like, how many countries can you, like, make your podcast and, like, say what you want to say about what you're thinking, you know?
Right. But, dude, I listen to, like, soldiers who have come back from war. I love listening to those stories from those guys, and they're talking about the PTSD and the trauma that they went through and all this stuff. And you can argue, yes, it was a war we never should have been in. Okay, you can argue that. But here's what I'll say. And this, for me, too, was like when they did the kneel down for the flag thing in the football games, I got pretty upset about that, too. Because those soldiers, here's the thing, if we weren't supposed to be, let's say we had no business being in that war, okay? Those soldiers still went over there, and none of us knew we had no business being in that war, including those soldiers for a period of time. Those soldiers still went and fought and died, and they were fighting and dying for the idea of this country and that flag. And that flag was wrapped around all of their buddies and their friends and their family members who died right next to them on the battlefield for you, so you could keep doing the simple little life that you have with no worries to protect this country that we have. And that flag to those soldiers means everything.
Yeah.
And for you to burn that, right? That is
spit
just
on it and stomp on it. And it's
yeah,
so
man.
Disrespectful.
To me, like, let's imagine, right, if a bunch of just country boys from Alabama were to go driving downtown and burning Gay Lives Matter flags and stuff. Like, oh, the horror. Like, what would come from that? Like, the backlash. Oh, but you can burn. Like, have any of you ever been in a paintball fight? Like, when you're in a paintball fight, you feel the real terror of war. As a simple man who doesn't, like, you're a little bitch, right? You feel the terror, like, oh my God, people are shooting at me. Now, you imagine actually going to war and people are blowing you up. Go listen to some of those stories. I can't even explain to you the stories that are coming out of these soldiers, okay? Oh, and by the way, more soldiers have killed themselves when they come back to the United States than soldiers that died in combat over those past 20 years in that war over there. More of our soldiers killed themselves than died in combat. Like, wrap your dick around that. Okay? So, yeah, it pissed me off a lot when they burned the flag.
My whole point is, like, I think, like, this kind of, like, people in general just need to be, like, more grateful for, like, some of the things they do have. Like, I think that would fix a lot of, like, people are just starting to hate on everything and everybody.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, like, you shouldn't have your views and points, but there's got there's got to be a point to where you're like, when are people going to start being grateful for the things that are good?
Right.
Like everybody always sees the wrong and never any of the good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that just makes things even more worse yet.
Yeah.
To a point. I'm being super soft about it. I know.
No.
Obviously, I got my bitches too. Like there's things I hate and I don't like. I'm just saying as a point, like there's got to be people need to start being more grateful for some of the things they have, you know, and they don't. There's people every day they're not like, and even if their life's going good, they probably don't sit down and like, man, I really appreciate all this stuff I have, you know, like how good my life's gone. You know?
Right.
There's definitely people in that world. I'm sure that because there's times I catch myself because I try to do it as much as I can because I know I'm not living the worst life because I know there's people out there way worse than me. Obviously, I have my crappy days and I think like, oh, why has this got to happen to me? But like, is it really that bad?
Right. Right.
You know?
And people also need to understand, and they need to have the mental maturity to understand where the root cause of their actual problems are. Okay? So, like, for you to burn the American flag, America's not the root cause of your problems. You need to, like, these people in these cities, why don't you go talk to your mayor? Huh? Why don't you go and talk to Mayor Lightfoot? Why don't you talk to the people that are enforcing these rules and laws? Why don't you talk to the governor of California? Okay? Why don't you talk to the people who are actually directly affecting your lives? Do you think our soldiers are the ones that enforce the laws in this country, or are they the ones that make sure you have the freedom to have laws and to have people in office and the freedom to drive your stupid little Prius around town? Like, why don't you go and focus on the people that are actually making the rules that are affecting things? Like, you're just going to blatantly scream at America as a whole. You're not, or they target someone like Kanye West.
Yeah, that's how
you know,
it ties into all that. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's just you don't know who the hell you're fighting against, and you should probably go and look in the mirror. I think that's a great place to start.
Fighting yourself.
Yeah, maybe you should look in the mirror and understand that you're the problem on this team. Like Team America, you're the problem. You don't understand that you are causing all of this. The people who are arguing and bickering and complaining and crying the most don't understand that they are the damn problem. And you have to fix it. And they want it to be fixed by someone else. And that's where the Democratic Party steps in. And they say, listen, we're going to help you. Okay? I am here for you. And I'm going to do everything in my power. All you have to do is vote for me. Okay? Then they turn around and they literally do not do a single thing they told you they were going to do. And you're so stupid. Yeah, you're so stupid. You don't even realize it. Because you're going based off these video clips that you see. I know so many people who just...
You already see what they're doing before the midterms, right?
No.
Biden's like, I'm going to get abortion thing fixed, and Kamala Harris, and they're doing stuff with like legalizing
oh yeah,
marijuana.
Let's go.
It's like, oh, here come midterms. Like,
let's go.
He's like, I promise if you get the Demo, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to pick sides, but this is what basically he said. If the Democrats get into Congress and we take everything over, like, this is gonna happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's go, buddy. Listen, don't we all remember Joe Biden said it, and it's on camera. He said, If you vote me for president, I will show you a cure for cancer. Didn't he say that? Where is it? How many people died of cancer this year?
No, what's more funny was the whole green energy thing. And now he's releasing... Now he's like, oil producers need to produce some more oil. We're taking oil out of the reserves.
Yeah, we got Greta Thunberg.
Oh, my God. How does that come back?
Greta Thunberg is our representative for green energy, man.
Yeah.
And one last thing I want to say. Just a final thing I wanted to throw in there. Damn it. I'm struggling to remember what the heck my point was. I had a point. It was such
my point
a good
is
point.
Ye, Kanye West, whatever you want to go by, you keep doing you, man.
Yeah, Kanye.
do your thing.
Kanye, we appreciate you, man.
At least he's doing it in a way where he's not like crying about it.
Right. Yeah. Oh, okay. I remember my point. Yeah, he's not doing anything to cry about it. My point, too. I don't want anybody to think that we're here to bash Democrat or Republican. I don't think anybody should. We're not here to support.
Just as much, right?
Yeah, I'm not here to support either side. I will. If you can bring me the argument. Yeah, I'm gonna I'll vote. I'll tell you this. I'm voting. When I vote, I'm not voting Democrat. I'm not voting Republican. I'm voting for whoever I see and whoever I've done the research on has the best chance of making a positive change in this country. And there is a difference, okay? There is a legitimate thing, but I know we have gray areas now. This whole country, everybody's trying to make it gray. But there is positive and negative. There's good and bad people, right? That still exists. Right and wrong still exists. And I'm going to vote for that individual, okay? That's somebody that's going to protect our freedoms in this country. And for us to all be bickering and crying about a White Lives Matter shirt or a guy who has a little rant on Twitter for a second, like, you give me a break, okay? I don't.
People need to
So
become
sick of
better people, basically, is what it comes down to, I think. Like, people can be better. That's what it comes down to. I think. People can be better.
I think we want to think people can be better.
They can.
I think we
but
hope.
those people have to want to be better.
And they don't.
But
so
they can
where
be,
does that leave us?
right?
They could be.
People just don't care. They care about things that don't matter.
I think they're just. I don't think we see. Yeah, that's true. You're right. I don't think we see enough struggle. I don't think we have enough struggle. I was listening to a podcast the other day. A guy made a very good point. He said our brains are designed to deal with like stressful situations, to problem solve, and our lives have gotten to the point where we no longer have to problem solve. You go to a job now, you know exactly what you have to do every single day. There's no more excitement, or there's no more
selling yourself, making it better.
Yeah,
doing more.
You're on a factory line basically at your job. So that mystery's gone. You don't have to wonder anymore about what you have to eat at the end of the day or during the day. You can get it anywhere. That's gone. You don't have to wonder about where you're going to live. You have a house, you have an apartment. That's gone. You don't have to fight anybody ever. That's gone.
How do I figure this out? Oh, I get this app and I push this button.
Yeah,
That's
you
it.
literally go on your phone and Google a problem, okay? If you have an issue, that's gone now.
Which is
so
nice.
our brains, a lot of people's brains can't handle that. And they need to come up with some kind of conflict that they can resolve. So they're just making problems up because you really have no problems. You know, the majority of human beings in this country don't have a problem. Okay, there's some of us for sure that are struggling, and those people need help, and the people that can help them are around them and usually aren't helping them. I know that because I've been a part of that
people
problem.
don't even want the help. They just want the attention.
That's true. So
People offer them help all the time, and they're like, nah.
Screw you.
I'll just post on here. I just want people to feel sorry for me when I have a bad day.
I don't want help. I want attention.
Yeah.
Okay? So I'm going to post on Twitter. I'm going to yell at I'm going to yell about this. I'm going to scream about that. You're the problem. Go look in the mirror. Kanye West is not the issue. He has like I said in the beginning, I don't know if he's crazy or not.
He might be.
He has some good points. I know that much. And he might be a little crazy. Who knows? But
Good
I think
people are crazy.
Yeah, I think for us all to be worrying about Kanye West, whatever. He's doing actually. He's coming up with some good points.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you say? What do you say? Should we get White Lives Matter shirts?
No. Obviously, I can't wear that. But,
No, you can. Let's see what you're falling into that trap. I'll get a Black Lives Matter shirt. You get a White Lives. We'll wear it. Or I'll wear the White Lives. You wear the Black Lives Matter. Who's going to say anything? I will knock you out if you walk up to me and say something about that shirt. If I wear a White Lives Matter shirt and he's wearing a Black Lives and we go out, someone says something to me, all right, I don't want to be violent.
Cue the music. Hey, this is a good video, though. Hey, keep watching.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
the skis have spoken. The music has been cued. There's nothing more I can do.
Things are getting out of control.
Woo!
Things are getting crazy.
We'll see you in the next video.
Where are the aliens? Maybe they're among us. I don't know.